All right, tonight, Showbiz Tonight wants to know, was Whitney Houston's big comeback performance really a catastrophe, or some people just blowing this whole thing out of proportion? Let's find out. Joining me in New York, Carolina Bermudez, a senior editor for In Touch Weekly, also tonight in New York. It's Ben Whitcomb, who's the celebrity editor for TheStylist.com. All right, Carolina, you're reading the reviews too. A lot of mixed reviews out there. What did you think? You saw the performance. Did she do all right, or was it a big old train wreck in your mind?
AJ, this was disappointing at best. It's not the comeback that you would expect from a legend like Whitney Houston. It was breathy. It was uncomfortable at times. Expecting a crowd to know the words to a single that hasn't even been released to radio yet is expecting a lot from the fans. So I would have liked to have seen her come out as the powerhouse that she used to be.
Yeah, and imagine the pressure, because this was huge. This was like, Britney Spears returning to the stage at the MTV Video Music Awards last year. We all know how that went. Let's listen to a bit more of Whitney's comeback performance so you can judge for yourself. This is from this morning's Good Morning America.
Take me far away from the battle, 'cause I need you. Shine on me, shine on me. I look to you, I look to you, I look to you.
All right, Ben, I'm looking to you. Whitney apologized to her fans for the voice cracking, claimed it was because she had just done this Oprah interview. She'd been talking all day long. Do you think that's a valid point or a lame excuse?
Well, I think it's a bit of an excuse, and the trouble that Whitney's facing is that at her peak, she wasn't just a good artist, she was, a superstar, the #1 artist in the world. She was almost perfect in her day. So everyone's comparing her at her peak. It's very hard for any artist to maintain that kind of success. So I think her performance, a little bit disappointing maybe, but not the train wreck that she's being criticized for.
Yeah, it is a lot to live up to. And as far as the Oprah thing, I at first thought, well, don't schedule these things near each other. But the truth is, when Oprah calls, you do Oprah. When GMA calls, you do GMA. And sometimes it's unavoidable, those scheduling conflicts. Certainly, a lot of the Whitney Houston fans out there, undeterred by her performance. I want you to take a look at this. It's some of the fans' unbridled enthusiasm at the concert. Roll that.
Whitney is my idol because Whitney is the purest, cleanest, sweetest person I've ever known. I love her. You're beautiful, and you never, ever left. Not India from Poughkeepsie. Holla!
Who else? Who else is the biggest Whitney Houston fan? Right here. What's your name?
I'm Sandy. I'm from New Jersey. We're fellow Jersey girls. Whitney is manna from heaven. Honey on my ears. The best singer of my generation. I love you, Whitney. Welcome back. Woo!
Hold on a second. I got to write that one down. Whitney is manna from heaven. That's a new one for me. Really, when you look at that, as much of a train wreck as we all know Whitney has been at times in the past, those fans, they are diehard, Carolina. So obviously she needs new fans. She needs people to like what she's doing. But does it matter how good or bad her performance was with this fan base, these people who will stick with her no matter what?
I don't think so. Somebody like Whitney has fans that have followed her for years now, decades, and it's evident from the crowd that was over at GMA. Now, what I think she really needs is a good single to hit radio. I Look to You, it's a power ballad. It's not really making any noise right now. I think that the song with Akon on the album and Alicia Keys, those are her stronger singles that are really going to get that new audience to kind of say, okay, you know what, maybe I didn't like her before, but I can see myself liking her now. And another thing to credit Whitney Houston, she's not using synthesizers or machines to make her voice sound better. So you got to give her credit for getting out there and doing her thing.
Did you notice she sounded more like her aunt, Dionne Warwick, than I've ever heard her sound in the past?
Yes.
I'm just saying that was something that really stuck out to me. If you go over to the Showbiz Tonight Facebook page, you will see it is blowing up about Whitney. People writing a lot of things. Definitely, she has her detractors writing on the wall. Whitney didn't do such a great job on the GMA. But believe it or not, we were actually more overwhelmed with all of the positive comments. Look at this one from Kayla M. I think Whitney Houston did amazing. Love her voice. Let's not forget we all aren't perfect. Amanda G writing, Whitney is just as big an icon as Michael Jackson was. I am glad to see her making a comeback. I will definitely be listening. Ben, is it just me, or do Whitney's fans seem to be pretty forgiving?
Well, I think Whitney's fans love her. It's interesting that she's not touring to promote this album because with the music industry in crisis, tour revenue is so much more important because it's the one thing that the internet can't rip off. So tours are more important than they've ever been for an artist, and the fact that she's not touring is significant. One final point, Carolina said that she wasn't using machines to help her voice. Actually, today there was an allegation that GMA might have tweaked it a bit because it wasn't a live performance. They taped it, and it was alleged that maybe they did give her a bit of a boost, which is controversial. GMA is a news program. They're not supposed to do that. So I'm not sure that we got the raw Whitney.
Okay, that is unconfirmed, Ben. I didn't see that written officially.
It's an
anywhere.
allegation.
Oh, well, those allegations are flying around all the time. Carolina Bermudez, Ben Whitcomb, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.